everyone, it's Leslie here from Elegant Edges, and today I'm bringing you another make with my scraps of Happy Haunting from Craft Consortium. I've loved making DT projects with this, and as you can see, my supplies now are extremely low. I have a few scraps of the 12 by 12 paper pad, and my small ones are in here. So I have raided these and come up with a little project fit for Halloween. It's going to be a treat box for one of these wheel chocolates that we get in the UK. And it's going to be decorated with the Happy Haunting. Ever so simple, ever so quick. Let's get started. Here's my template that I made to start with. So I've begun with a piece of card that's 8 1/4, so that's the width of A4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to suggest we start at the opposite edge and we do all our scoring one way, because we all know that some card, although it says it's 8 1/4, can be a different size. Okay, so I'm going to start scoring. My first score is at 5/8 of an inch. I've got my trimmer, my score blade here. The next one is at 3 7/8, then 4 1/2, and the last one at 7 3/4. Now that should leave a 1/2 inch flap, but if you've got any more or less, that's going to be tucked inside and it really won't matter. Then we're going to turn our card and we're going to score again at 5/8. At 3 7/8. So just like the other side, same measurements. And the last one at 4 1/2. Okay, so that's all our scoring done. Put that to one side. Now, I appreciate it's very difficult to see where I've scored on here. So I'm going to suggest the first thing you do is to fold and burnish, and it will help you see your own score lines. And obviously as you do it, make sure that your lines, or your edges, line up. You can see even I'm having trouble with black card. Okay, so that's the going round the card. And then we've got the other way. So the 5/8 of an inch fold is at the bottom. Then these other two are at the top. So that one is the top of the box. That gives us the lid and then a flap at the front. Okay, so let me get this around the right way. So I have my 5/8 of an inch fold on the left hand side. Okay, and my odd measurement flap on the right. So I'm going to start at the bottom and I'm going to cut up to that first score line on each of the folds. Okay, so the first one is a cut inside tab, just being careful to cut away the bumpy bit, the actual score line. Technical term, that bumpy bit. This is going to be a flap inside for the bottom. We can mitre that one just a little bit, not, you know, hugely. And this one, we can mitre this outside one. Get rid of those little bits. So that's the bottom done. We're going to turn it round, and I'm turning mine diagram too. So we're going to actually cut both of them to the second fold, second score line. Okay, so the 1/2 inch flap you can cut away Cut these ones very straight though. The tab that goes in the middle we're going to cut down to half. The tab at the side we're going to cut to half. And then we need to decide which way round, which is our front and which is our back. It's important that the 1/2 inch goes inside. So we want this to be our front. So whichever side you make your front, we are going to cut off that section. So I'm going to fold these under so they don't get in the way and try and cut as straight as I can. Okay. So this is going to be our flap that tucks in. So I'm going to just take a little bit off, just a tiny mitre, only a tiny bit, and then bring in a corner rounder because it's so much easier to tuck in a flap if the edges are rounded. And basically that's it, that's our box. Now decoration is much easier when it's flat on a box. So I have, get rid of that one, I have gone through my scraps and cut some papers. I found that I've got this lovely sheet of decoupage. So I've cut the main image down. These sides here were 3 1/4, so this is 3 1/8. So I don't want it that side because it's got to go on the front, so I need it here. So I need it there. Normally on the front I would get a circle punch and just take a little bit off. I don't want to do that here because I'll cut into the image, so I'm going to leave that. And if it's just, oops, I think I needed some more glue. Never mind, we'll manage. Okay, and I can see where to put it because I can just find the score lines. So just pop that one in the middle. So this is 3 1/8 square. Okay, and then for the back, I've got enough of this lovely batt paper. So that's going to go on the back. Then these are 3 1/8 long by 1/2 inch wide. So I'm trying to get the pumpkins up the right way, making sure I don't put any on the 1/2 inch flap. Okay. There is a tiny bit of difference with this paper. It's very similar front and back. But you know, I think with these tiny little scraps, whoops, it will show if it's upside down. But I don't think the paper will show which side it is because the design is so similar. There's more green one side. Is that the same? I don't think I'm going to stress over that. So that's my side. Now I've got one for the top. So as this comes down, I'm going to put that this way around. Where's the green? That is right. It's so difficult when you've only got a scrap to see which is the top and the bottom of your pumpkins. Okay. A little bit of paper there in the way. We'll have to trim that off. Okay, and I'm going to actually put the bottom bit on after I've assembled it. So what we need to do is to get the 1/2 inch flap. I'm using wet glue just because that is my glue of choice. Okay, I'm going to tuck that flap under, tuck that under, try and line up the folds. There we are, and it all meets. Perfect. Get my bone folder, just give that a nice little burnish. Okay, then the bottom. What we're going to do is to actually tuck the back flap in first, then the sides, put those down. Don't worry particularly if it gets a bit messy, because we're going to cover that up. And then the front goes down. Pull that little mitre bit out. Okay, stand it up. And you need to poke something in there, like your bone folder. Just press down. Have a little bit of patience. Okay. Now I had another little strip. The pattern is actually going the wrong way round. But as it's going to be at the bottom, and I really didn't need to decorate this, but I had a scrap and so I've used it. That can sit on the bottom. Okay. We'll just make sure that our chocolate biscuit fits. Open up the flaps. I found it's easier to put the extra bits in at the side, and that leaves it clear at the top for your flap to go under. And it does fit in really nicely. So, I mean, that would be nice on its own. I'm just going to get some dimensional pads. There we are. And just pop on some little foam pads. I'm only putting one layer on. I've been having a giant crafty clear out, so that I've been using up all sorts of odd makes, odd bits of these stickers. It's funny how we collect all bits, isn't it? There we go. I might just cut one. Even though these are small, I'm going to have a tiny one up here. Sorry if my head is in the way then. Just take off the backing paper, and I'm getting stuck up with everything here. Just two more. One here. There we are. Try and get it right over the top. So there's five layers on this decoupage sheet, but I think one extra layer on here is plenty for a little treat, and I can save these for my prototype box and make a second one. Okay, well that's my make for today finished. I hope you continue to follow me. If all goes well, I should have 13 Frights for Halloween. So please follow me on social media. Leave me a lovely comment, because it helps a lot to make me visible. Okay, thank you. Bye.